Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Watercolor Wednesday. I'm Leslie Watkins. So I hope everybody's well today. We are having a gorgeous spring day here. It actually feels a little bit more like summer. We've been having 80-degree weather, so things are really starting to happen in the garden. And as I looked out the back door today, I noticed that all the bluebells are opening up, and I absolutely love the bluebells. I mean, this color is just beautiful in the sunshine. So I thought, how fun to paint some of those today. And I thought what I would do is, in my watercolor sketchbook, let me just get my brushes out. I had started the daffodil page. So here is the daffodil page, and that is followed by the peonies, and we're just beginning to see some signs of the peonies opening up, but it's going to be a little bit longer before they're going full force. So I thought, how fun, why not add some blue to this gorgeous yellow and give this page a little more, make it a little more colorful. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get started with these, and I'm just going to begin with a quick pencil sketch. And before I do that, I just want to check my settings, make sure that we're broadcasting. There has been a little bit of trouble with my internet service, so I'm hoping that it's going to hold for the session and we won't have any interruptions. So fingers crossed. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Okay. So I'm gonna start with you zoomed out a little bit, and then in a little while I will zoom you in. So as you can see, they're not fully open yet. I think you can see that we still have a lot of buds on the top, so they start down at the bottom and work their way up, and then it looks like the flowers sort of come from the stem in a spiral pattern. So we'll see if we can capture the feeling of that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it so that it forms a border going up to the side of the page here. So I'm just going to hold this in front of me, and I'm going to begin with a sweep. I think what we'll do is have the stem emerge from behind the daffodil, something like that, and give that a nice graceful curve. And then of course we've got these beautiful dark blue buds at the end. And I know you probably cannot see this very well because I'm sketching very lightly, and I'm just indicating the places where I want all these beautiful blossoms to be located in. And then when it, as I get closer to finishing, I'll put in the details at the very end with my paintbrush. So I'm just a loose sketch, just to kind of get everything oriented, make sure I've got enough room to get all the things that I want to get on there. And the other thing that I'm looking for is the direction that each of these flowers is facing. So this one down at the bottom is sort of facing to the upper left. This one's facing sideways, and then each of these has a different aspect, and I want to make sure I capture that as much as possible so that I can capture the character of the specimen. There are hundreds and hundreds of these things out there, and this morning, as I was looking out the window, I saw a male cardinal sweep down, and just all the colors, the red, yellow, and blue. It's beautiful. Now I also have the leaves to consider, but I'm not going to put the leaves on first because I'm going to go ahead and use those leaves to sort of fill in the design. So I'm simply going to begin with a very light, very pale wash of blue. And I'm using my little brush because I'm using it to sketch with. So I'm continuing to draw, but this time I'm using the brush, and I'm keeping it light enough so if I want to make any changes as I go along, I'll be able to do that. Now, if you'd like to learn more about my paints and supplies and how you can become a part of the Watercolor Card Club, I hope that you'll go to visit my site at dandelioncottagedesign.com and click on Watercolor Card Club, and you'll get all the information there about how you can become a member and learn to paint a new specimen from the garden each month. And we've just started a brand new session, so this is the perfect time. And you don't need a lot of equipment to get started. I'm just using 3 colors here, red, yellow, and blue. You can keep it just that simple. And if you're somebody that uses the water-based inks, those are can be used just as the watercolors are. So that would work out very well, and it's a very inexpensive way to get started. Alright, so now I'm going into my green mixture, and I'm just going to put a pale tone on that stem. Just like so, and back here. Okay, so it's just that simple to get started. I'm going to zoom you in now so that hopefully you'll be able to get a better look at what I'm doing. Okay, and I see we've got some folks out there. Hi, Kelly. Hey, Bev and Ginger. Ginger says better late. It's anytime, Ginger. You know, and if you missed the live on Facebook, you can always see these videos on the YouTube channel. So both my Facebook and YouTube is Dandelion Cottage Design. I've got a Instagram account, also Dandelion Cottage Design, as is my website. So wherever you happen to be scrolling along on social media, you can find me there. It's actually amazing to see how many videos are available, you know, just in the time that I've been doing these things. I've I've done over 1,000 videos. It's remarkable. And you know, they're never perfect. For those of you out there who are thinking about doing a some kind of a live video, never strive for perfection. It's not going to happen. I always make some sort of a blooper or a mistake, or things don't always go as planned, but you just keep going. All right, so all I'm doing now is I've increased the strength of the blue, and as I'm looking at these blossoms, I can see that they're kind of a mix of a blue and a blue violet. So I'm going to want to get a little more red into my mixture, so I'll do that in just a moment. They're so pretty. Each of the petals looks like it has a blue stripe that runs up the center of the back of the petal. So I want to make sure that I capture that. And then the tips have a little darker tone on them. So I'm going to take, switch this around a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to take my blue mixture, and I'm going to add a drop of red to it to get that kind of a blue-violet tone. And I'm going to let these colors kind of mix together on the page. So that there's nice variation in tones. There's also a little bit of green in the buds, and then I've got this great big fat bud here that looks like it's getting ready to open. There are all sorts of things blooming in the gardens right now. The lilacs are still going strong. The fragrance is absolutely spectacular. It seems like this is one of the prettiest springs we've had in a long time. There was a lot of rain earlier, and that may be a contributing factor. But just everything is going full tilt, and I'll hopefully, before the sun goes down tonight, I'll get out there and get some pictures to share with you. Next month, of course, is Peony Month. So here at Dandelion Cottage in the month of June, we celebrate peonies. So if you are a peony lover, please stay tuned, because got a lot going on here, and I will be featuring them quite a bit, both in the paper crafting and the stamping, as well as the watercolor videos. They are spectacular. Peonies are known as the king of the garden. So the rose is the queen, the peony is the king. And we have both the perennial peonies as well as the tree peonies, or we have the herbaceous, I should say herbaceous peonies and the tree peonies. And they're a little different. The tree peonies really are impressive. They all are. They all are just gorgeous. I've noticed that people who live a little bit south of here are already picking their peonies and making bouquets with them. Mine aren't there yet. Where I'm situated, it's sort of on a hill, and the altitude is a little higher than the surrounding area, and so my plants usually bloom a week or two later than some of the other towns nearby, which is kind of fun. It's known as the icebox of Connecticut because of that higher altitude. We keep our snow a little bit longer and it comes a little bit sooner. I'm just adding some of those stripes. They also have these beautiful little, very fine stems with this wonderful little hood that it's just above the flower. And I think we're going to get a little more green on there. Now this green, it's a very, I would say grayer, cooler green than the stem of the daffodil. In fact, it's almost got a kind of a silvery cast to it. So not quite as much yellow, a little more blue. And it also has some sort of squarish edges, if that makes sense. Okay, then up at the end here, near where the buds are, it gets very blue. Very beautiful. And then down through here where it starts to get a little bit thicker, you get a little more of that green. Not too much though, just a little. There we go. All right, and then finally I'm going to take a stronger blue mixture with a touch of the red, a little more of the red than what I had before, and just put a couple of touches. If anybody has any questions, please put them in the comments and take a quick look in just a minute. Please make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and that you like my Facebook page and follow my Facebook page so that you can be sure to hear about all of the upcoming events that we have planned for the summer. There's going to be some live classes, and I've been making a lot of arrangements to get that underway, and I'll be able, once I get a little bit further along, I'll be able to give you actual dates and tell you how you can pre-register. Now in this flower I can see some of the anthers, so for those I'm going to grab a little bit of my yellow green, and using my smaller brush, so I've got a nice pointy tip, I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple of little strokes to indicate those things. I'm sorry if my head is getting into the camera here as I look more closely at this. And then finally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of little more shadow to my stem. And going back to that blue-violet mixture, and this time a nice strong mixture, I can add just a couple of accents, and then we'll be done. Maybe a couple of these little I don't know what they're called, but they what happens is as the bud unfurls, this beautiful little kind of a calling it a hood, but it's really skinny. And it's just really pretty. Just adds a little extra. There we go. Alright, so there's my flower. I do have a leaf. So this is what the leaf looks like for the bluebell. So I can begin, I can just do a kind of a very loose, and for this I'm going to switch to my larger brush. It's kind of a bluish green, and I can just kind of indicate that in the background. So maybe coming from here. Like so. Okay, and of course I can add as many or as few of these as I like. It's just keep the idea of this beautiful rhythm going around the border of the page. So that's what it looks like so far. I hope you got something out of that. I hope you're all getting outside and looking at nature, maybe picking some flowers to bring in so that you could do a little sketching. Even if it's just a pencil sketch, it's so rewarding, you know. Sometimes you don't want to get all your paints and everything out, but you want to do a little something. So grab your sketchbook and do a quick pencil study, and that's something you could do anywhere. So you could take that with you while you're out and about on a hike. If you have to wait in a waiting room somewhere, just have some fun. Sketch what's around you. All right, so I'm going to take a quick look, see if there's any questions that I can answer. And let's see. Oh, there's quite a few comments here, so let me see. It's Wednesday. For those of you who are wondering what day of the week it is, it's Wednesday. I was actually really surprised to find out that we're already up to just about to Memorial Day weekend, which I don't know how that came up so quickly. All right, well, I don't see any questions. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. And if you're somebody new, and please say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And thank you for watching. Make sure that you are subscribed to Notes from Dandelion Cottage to stay up to date on upcoming classes and events and announcements. And you can do that on my Facebook page. There is a button up above in the banner that says sign up. Just click on that, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can click on the link that's in the description under the video. All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time with Paper Crafting Thursday. Please come back. And in the meantime, stay well, stay happy, stay creative, and I will see you next time.